How are you feeling? You got John Riggs here. Welcome to the family. Thinking about the Neo Geo. I never had one. My friend Waku in high school was the only one of us who actually had a job, and he actually saved up enough to buy a Neo Geo, so he was our at-home experience. You wanted a Neo Geo because you were playing the literal arcade versions at home. And it was perfect for fighting games. Tons of great beat-em-ups. Sports games, shooters, puzzle games, driving games. Now, even though I personally don't have a Neo Geo system itself, there have been several ways to play a lot of these great games. Like most modern consoles have like the SNK collection or the Neo Geo collection, and there's a lot of great games out there, but it doesn't showcase all of the Neo Geo games, if you know what I mean. You already know about Samurai Showdown and Metal Slug and the 48 flavors of King of Fighters, but I'm going to showcase 12 games in this video that I think are worth checking out. Starting off with a great action platformer in Magician Lord. Now, obviously you're a magician, you can tell by the hat. And it's a great action platformer. You blast your little magic blasts at these enemies here. You only start out with 2 hit points, so, I mean, 2 hits and you're dead. This is a great introduction to Neo Geo because it's like, you know, I love the pixel art in these games, I love the explosions. And the gimmick behind this game is you can get these items that will transform your character. It'll give you more hit points and give you more abilities, more powers. I definitely got to get good at this game myself. I'm going to be practicing some more, but Magician Lord is a great start to play some great platformers on your Neo Geo. Wouldn't be Neo Geo without some great fighting games. Wanted to showcase Savage Rain. Now it starts as your basic fighter, you got 10 characters you can choose from. But what I like about this game that not a lot of other fighting games had, was it had this multiple platforms. You had your base level, and then you had kind of this upper level. I mean, fighting's pretty simple, you gotta punch and a kick, and then you have a throw your item or throw your weapon as one of the other buttons. But the gimmick being that there's multiple platforms in this. So you got your baseline, and then you got like an upper level that you can take the fight, you know, up and down and wherever you gotta go. In a world of too many Street Fighter 2 clones, this one kind of stood out for that reason, and for several reasons. I think that extra little bit, that extra gimmick, that's what it was all about. Also like that some of these platforms also have hidden dangers in them. Another fun fighting game, Kizuna Encounter Super Tag Battle. I love the fact that with these SNK games, these fighting games, so many characters are interchangeable from different fighting games. You might see some of them pop up multiple times. Now again, this was like mid-90s, so this tag system for fighting games was kind of the new hot thing. There's a lot of arcade games, a lot of fighting games that were already doing this. I don't know, but something about these SNK fighting games, something about these Neo Geo fighting games, where it doesn't seem like these levels take way too long. Like these rounds are just like, so quickly. I mean, if they're over quick, they're over quick. I love that. If you've played all the other fighting games before, Kizuna Encounter may be right up your alley. Blues Journey, to me, another heavy dose of nostalgia. I remember playing this with my next-door neighbor. My next-door neighbor rented a Neo Geo, and we played all the way through this in the first sitting. Well, that's the thing with Neo Geo games. You just keep on hitting the extra credit button. You know, you can keep on going. Fun cartoon platformer. You have your giant leaf that you can use as a weapon. You can pick up your enemies, toss them. And you can also shrink down. So you can shrink down and, you know, go in these shops. You can shrink down to get into places that you couldn't normally reach. And this game, like, as far as I know, every other Neo Geo game, 2-player. I mean, I love platformers anyway, so cool to see that they have some great ones on the Neo Geo. Got some great shooters too in Zed Blade, one of my favorites. Instead of picking up your weapons along the way, which you will, but you choose what kind of weapons you would like at the beginning of the game here. And I like how they emphasize the shoot behind you too, because there's enemies coming up from behind you all the time in all these shooting games, so I mean, why wouldn't they just have that as a default? Well, this game does. I love the kind of weird polygon, you know, blocks turning into machines and weapons and you know, enemies and stuff like that. A lot of great shooters on the Neo Geo. Zed Blade up there, and this boss here. You can tell a lot about a great shooting game by its bosses. This one's taking extra long to get here. Hey, there we go. All right, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this. Yeah, check out Zed Blade. Zupapa is the name of this puzzle platformer. It's a little bubble bobble and maybe even a little Pikmin kind of. You can pick up your friends and then launch your friends on these enemies, and that's one way you can defeat them. You can also punch them if you'd like to do that, but I mean the enemies, you can toss them on there, that way you can just go over and, you know, make them blow up, I guess. And the more of your friends that you throw on your enemy, when you collect them, they'll create a bigger explosion, so people in the vicinity can also take damage as well, and defeat them as well. Great game if you love that bubble bobble style, and again, 2-player. Always have a lot of fun with this game. Love to see what the enemies come out with and, you know, what's going on from here. Tons of levels, of course, you can't go wrong. Now, the Super Spy is unique, to say the least. Is it a great game? I mean, that's up to you to decide. But I still wanted to show it off because this was like a game that I hadn't really heard of beyond this. Because at first I was like, it's a little Operation Wolf, kind of, but not really. You can move back and forth however you want. But as the enemy comes up to you, you have to punch them or knee them, of course, before you get hit. You do have a knife you can use if you'd like. You even have a gun you can use if you'd like. You have a limited amount of ammo, so keep that in mind. The door opens up, go through the door, move on to the next stage, and move on from there. It's interesting, but still wanted to show it off. Here's the Super Spy for the Neo Geo. Twinkle Stars Sprites, this game is a lot of fun. You know those Puyo games where it's like you versus the other player, and if you do like a lot of combos or get like, great score or something like that, it causes chaos for the other opponent, like stuff goes into their screen? Well, this is like that, but a shooter. So the more you shoot and the more combos you get, the more bad stuff happens to your opponent's side. That's how it works, and that's what Twinkle Star Sprites is all about. Got story mode, competitive mode, character mode. There's a lot of things going on with this game, and again, just the basic idea of it being a shooter, but a competitive shooter. You're both playing the same game, but not together. Great party game this one is. All right, I love my platformers. Here's another one that no one really talks about called Spinmaster. It's not, it's not Metal Slug for kids. However, you do walk through. It's a platformer, right? And you have your item, your weapon. You get a ton of weapons along the way too. You start off with your yo-yo, and that gets the job done. But then you pick up other ones along the way too. And you just have to make it through the level. And I love the artwork in this. It doesn't look like other Neo Geo games. I mean, it has that Neo Geo feel, but doesn't look like other Neo Geo games, and that was a fun idea for me. With no matter what shot you have too, you can also charge up your shot to make a more powerful shot, I suppose. Again, don't really need to show off too much more than just this, but Spinmaster, super fun. Puzzled is a unique twist on Tetris in a way where it's Tetris, yes, at its core. I mean, it is Tetris, but you just have to make your balloon escape. So you're not trying to just defeat all the rows, you're just not trying to, get the highest score. You just gotta clear up enough lines so your balloon can escape safely. That's all you gotta do. But the core of it, yes, it's Tetris. But again, you just have to clear enough lines that your balloon can move freely to the exit, and you can move on to the next stage. It's Tetris with a twist, can I say? It's fun, it's puzzled. And maybe because the name is super generic, puzzled, it could be anything. But they couldn't call it Tetris with a twist. A balloon Tetris? No, you couldn't call it that either. Yeah, well now you know, and you can check it out if you'd like. I mean, come on, it's Neo Geo. There's so many great fighting games on this system. Here's Waku Waku 7, a game I played myself on the Sega Saturn, but it's from the Neo Geo, so we'll talk about the Neo Geo version. I love how when you select your characters, it tells you how to do their special moves. I love that about this game. And it's another one of those games too, like other Neo Geo fighting games, sometimes the rounds last 10 seconds and you can move on with your life. I love the crazy unique characters, I just love the anime style graphics of this game. And I love how you build up your meter so fast that you can keep on doing your special moves, like your super special moves. So it's not like you're battling for like 5 minutes, you can finally pull it off. You keep pulling it off. And you have a moment of time when you're about to pull it off, or your enemy might, that you're wide open. So if you get a chance, you can actually break their special move if you're quick enough. And as you saw from the fighting moves, it's another Street Fighter 2 kind of. You don't even need to know how to do the moves. You can probably just figure it out by doing some simple button mashing or the roll forward or the roll back and punch and kick, and you'll figure it out, man. It's a fun one. Shock Troopers is like Ikari Warriors on crack. I love Shock Troopers. It's cool because there's so many characters you can choose from in this game. And the gameplay itself, well, I mean, it plays a lot like Ikari Warriors or like a Mercs, or there's several other games that are like this, Kill the bad guy before they kill you. You can dodge and roll out of the way, which is nice to avoid these enemy bullets. Get your bazooka for those harder to defeat enemies here, nothing wrong with that. Again, another fun experience with Shock Troopers that, whether it's one player, two player, just need something to play, you can never go wrong with a game like Shock Troopers. So many other great games out there. What did I miss on this list? I'll do a part 2 sooner or later. In the meantime, got this big old playlist full of other videos just like this for systems like Super Nintendo, Nintendo, arcade games, and a lot more. And a special thank you to my friends on Patreon. They made this video possible because I was able to get these games. These are all from the Neo Geo selection on the Nintendo Switch. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, and thank you for being you.